Yo, 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 yo! What's going on in the hood, peoples? How's everybody doing? Hey, man, good evening. My friends, my people. Tell me what's up, man. God bless you. Hey, Happy New Year. Hope everybody's having a fantastic time and you guys are ready to get to work because we got a lot of stuff to do. 2020 is going to be the year of you and maybe even a little bit of me. All right? Where's everybody coming in from? Give me a holler. Tell me where y'all coming in from. All right. We got all sorts of people back here. Good. Oh, man. We got people from everywhere. Eric, what's up? How you doing? Good. Hey, Shelton, how are you? Sweet. Hey, Engage, Mr. Engage, how you doing? Man, that's hot. Well, man, it's a pleasure, first of all, to see you. Kimberly, how are you? Philip, what's going on? Shri, what's going on? Man, I got so many people from Michigan, man. That's my home. Dallas, Texas, Ravi, how are you, man? My Indian brother. My brother from two other mothers. Rodolfo, man, what's going on? Cool, man. If you guys want to listen to a little Celine Dion, you don't got to ask me twice. Man, it's a pleasure to meet you guys. Man, 2020, we just finished a decade. Can you believe that? Let me tell you something. 10 years ago, when the decade started, man, I had a full head of hair like Bradley Cooper. Not even joking. It was a magnificent mane. And here we are, 10 years later. Some of you guys are going to have magnificent manes, and you're going to lose it. But hopefully, you'll be making so much money that it don't even matter. Kalamazoo in the house. Johnny Walker, what's up, baby? Mr. Valencia, what's up? Butt Rick, what's going on? Blake, how you doing? All right, man. Good Lord. It's good to see everybody in here, man. I always love, throughout this business, I always love doing a New Year's webinar because, frankly, man, I've had a blessed life, I must say, because of trading and doing a webinar in the middle of New Year to get you guys started so that you guys can hit your goals and do what you need to do is just, frankly, it's a blessing. Shaolin, Rhode Island. Man, you don't see anybody from the RISD anymore. Oh, no. Shelton, man, pleasure to see you. Good. God bless, man. Let's go do what we do, which is do. Hey, Billy, what's up, man? Billy Brown, Sam D, how you doing? Cool, man. Who's ready to shred? By the way, anybody shred the market today? Holy crap, are we in the market of markets? Are we not? It's fantastic. We are literally in the markets of the markets. Every day the market opens weak and it just shreds. And that is you just can't even beat that, right? Every day the market opens weak and it just shreds. We are in what's called a runaway mega donkey shred market. And you guys, by the way, you guys need to be stepping on the gas in this type of market. If you are not shredding, I'm talking about building some serious income, some serious wealth in this type of hot market, then we've got to change some of your tactics. Because right now, you saw it even in our chat room today, right? We were 5 for 5, but every single trade was a chunk. It was a big gain, and I'm trading live in front of my students every single day, but the market has been just giving us crazy opportunity. Jeremy, that's a good entry on crowd. So let's get started, man. How do we find and trade the most explosive stocks in 2020? Where's the money going to be at? And of course, more important, what are going to be the trading patterns that we use to get going? All right. So first of all, before we get into the nitty gritty, and I know a lot of you guys, man, you guys are impatient little bastards. You want the trading patterns and you want the info right away. But first, let's talk a little bit about the agenda because I want to walk you guys through what we need to do and why. And then we're going to get really into the nitty gritty. Guys, I'm not going to waste any of your time with any bullshit today. This webinar is about one thing. It's just getting you guys ready for 2020. Everything else that happens after that is just what happens after that. So I appreciate you guys spending a little bit of your free time with me because frankly, man, I know how it goes, man. You guys got work, you got kids, you got wives, and you got girlfriends. Some of you guys got girlfriends, wives, and kids, and all kids and wives from different people, and it's confusing, and it's erotic, and it's sensual, but it's time-consuming, and it can get you in trouble. So you guys got a lot of stuff on your plate. Everybody is busy. In today's day, I never met anybody that's not busy, right? So I appreciate you guys taking a little bit of time to hang out with me. Let's talk a little bit about the agenda, and then we're going to get right into it. And then, frankly, at the end, we're going to, I'll answer all your questions and stuff. And, guys, by the way, like, because of the way the YouTube Live works, you know, questions just come in. So we'll do a Q&A at the end. And so save your questions of, like, what you want. If you want, like, specific tickers to look at, or you just have questions about trading that maybe we don't go through, I will definitely answer them at the end. I will make you one challenge, though. There is... None of you guys are going to be able to outlast me in this webinar. So you can ask 1,000 questions. I'll be there for all 1,000. So save them to the end. We'll get them thing going. Catherine, you're right, man. Husbands, I don't even want to talk about husbands because none of us do anything. I can't even imagine my dad raised me. All he did was take me to Taco Bell once a week, and that's about it. Even to this day, he's 65 years old, man. We just have Taco Bell trips. So you are in rare commodity there. I appreciate you. So let's talk about the agenda. Number one, we're going to talk about trading strategy that works, right? In any market conditions. Guys, there are one-trick ponies all over this trading business, all right? There are people that short like pump and dumps, and then there are people that do the pump and dumps, and there are people that do this and that. That's not real trading. A real trading is a comprehensive system, a methodology that encompasses all your trading decisions, but can handle every single type of market condition, okay? It encompasses small caps, large caps, mid caps. It doesn't really matter, long, short, but you have a strategy that works in all market conditions. So if you're in bull market, bear market, or something in between, which is just a consolidation market, your strategy is at peak performance during all three of those phases. Most people, they trade like one pattern, right? They short this thing and they draw a couple lines, and that's it. And so that only works in a handful of places. It's very hard to make a living, or more importantly, to build wealth with just that one-trick pony type of system. So I'm going to talk to you guys about some trading strategies that, frankly, they work in all markets, which you guys need, all right? I'm going to give you my favorite day trading setup. It's a low-risk, high-reward type of play, meaning I've set up this trade and the scanners for this trade in a way that when it goes, I either make some good money or I lose 50 cents on a stock, you know, give or take. So it's going to be a low risk, high reward type of play. We're going to talk about how to enter these type of trades, and then more importantly, how to exit. In trading, guys, you have trading books, you have blogs, you have the Twitter, you have the Instagrams, right? You got all these damn people, right, talking about trading. Everybody's looking at the same stuff, right? But the thing is, in trading, you can't just draw a squiggly line on a chart and be like, that's a spot where you buy. But more importantly than that, you'll never know how to sell it. You'll never know exactly where can I get out of this particular stock. So we're going to talk about how to exit trades. There are specific strategies on how to actually maximize your profits. And then we're going to talk about how to manage risk and preserve capital. So the second part of our agenda is going to be characteristics of the best stocks to trade. What is the formula, guys? What is the formula for what makes the best momentum stocks? Does anybody even know that? What is the formula for what makes the best momentum stocks? We are in a runaway bull market right now, and so everything is running. But even then, you'll start to see certain stocks that outpace others. Like, what does it take? What are the characteristics and traits that we need to see so that we know that this particular trade could be one of those epic runners that pay us for weeks, if not for months? Then beyond that, it's going to be, how do we scan for these things? That's always the hard part. How do we actually look for these runners? Everybody talks about momentum, right? Momentum this, momentum that, trends this. But like, how do you actually find them? How do you tweak your scanners? What scanners do you use? How do you tweak them and get them right so that you're able to find what you need to do, okay? And we want to really make sure that you're able to, Mr. Scavarelli, how you doing? Make sure that you find those on your own. So who am I? I'm the big boss, the head janitor of Bulls on Wall Street. I'm the CEO of this bad boy, this company. I've had this company for over 10 years. No joke. Like when we started this company, it was in 2008, and I was a young man doing this, and I've learned a crazy amount of just, I guess, lessons, trials, tribulations, successes over the years that I love sharing with all my students and all that stuff. In 10 years, it's been no joke. Like I said, man, I had hair like Bradley Cooper, and I had rippling abs like Brad Pitt, and now I'm more looking like like Aziz from that Netflix show. But whatever. But I'm still shredding stocks. I'm still shredding stocks. I've been doing this for 10 years. And over 10 years, just this business, I've been trading for well over that. I've been a speaker all over the world, whether it's been overseas, London, Tokyo, anywhere you could think of. I have been talking about my life's passion, which is day trading. It's been my life's passion, which is day trading and teaching people how to trade stocks. It's what I do. And you can probably see it even from my damn smile. Trading is one thing, but you got to have a whole different skill to have the patience and gratitude to be able to give your gift to other people. I've literally taught thousands of people to learn how to trade, and I trade live in front of my students all day. So, Mr. Gill, one thing that you'll see from my students, and they'll all vouch for it, I get on webinar every single day in front of my students, and I shred. Like, I shred, and it's, I've been doing that for a decade. And you're totally right. Your question of do most educators, do you make any money? Yeah, I'm on screen share. Like, I shred in front of my students every single day. Like, I go for it, There is no, sit on my laurels counting subscription money over here. I go for it every single day because I love trading. I teach a momentum-based trading style that I believe is going to be the best for you guys. I believe it's going to be the best for you guys. There are different trading styles. Man, when I was a new trader, let me tell you, when I was in college, so I started trading, I'm not going to give you the year, but it's like 1999, 2000. When I started trading, man, I was so obsessed with the stock market because I was seeing it was the dot-com boom. I was seeing all these people make money. Man, I had this crazy neighbor, man. We're just going to call him Bob because he's a huge dick, but we'll just call him Bob. All right, Bob. So, my dad is like this. My dad's like a hardworking guy. He's an engineer. We come from a blue-collar family in Michigan. And my damn neighbor, Bob, man, he had this BMW. So, if anybody that comes from, a middle-class family, getting a BMW is, the epitome of success, right? You're like, wow. Bob's got a BMW 3 Series, right? Because we're humble people. We're humble people. So my neighbor Bob had a BMW 325, which is not even, right? It's a normal car. Nowadays, because everybody uses debt and, leases things, your fucking, barista at Starbucks probably is a BMW 325. But back in the day, BMWs, where I'm from, were the hottest thing around. So Bob, who's a huge jerk, had a BMW. And I was like, fuck, man, what did Bob do to get this fucking BMW? And Bob even had a license plate that said, Yahoo for life. So, Yahoo's a company. You guys are probably using a web browser. So, basically, Bob bought, $20,000 at Yahoo, and it went up, 10x. So all of a sudden, like, Bob is like loaded. He's buying cars. And so I'm like, man, Bob's a jerk, right? So like, if fucking Bob's got money, I gotta do something in this business. And so it just piqued my interest about stocks. And I was just studying everything I could. And I tried all these different styles, like the Warren Buffett, method, which is awesome, but it will take 40 years, right? Warren Buffett's like 100 years old. Like, he's got a lot of money. And like the fun stuff that you may want to do, he can't do, right? Which is like get boners, have sex with women, and drive cool cars, all that kind of fun stuff. He can't do it. He's too old. So some of these methods that I read about, they just don't fit what you're trying to do. I was thinking about this as a college kid. How do I take a small amount of money and turn it into a large amount of money? And it's never linear like that, right? Like you have a small amount, you turn a large amount. But right, like how can I get into that, right? Like how can I be one of those people? And so I've learned, and we've come up with a momentum-based trading style that's really designed on not small caps. I don't trade any small caps, but how do we take small amounts of money and turn them into something bigger, right? Because not everybody is blessed with, getting a gift from their daddy and having $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 to trade. Most of us start with $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. There's very handful of us that get the gift of like, oh my gosh, thank you for the money. So momentum trading is based on trends, but it is the best for taking smaller amounts of money and growing it so you can do it as an income. Guys, I was born and raised outside of Detroit. Man, I've lived through probably what you guys have done, which is that I lived the cubicle life. I lived that cubicle life. Man, everybody in my family, they work for Ford Motor Company. Indian people, man, what do Indian people do? We own 7-Elevens or we're engineers, right? A handful of the really good ones are doctors. But in my family, that's not. You own 7-Eleven or you're engineer. So for me, that just wouldn't work. I always thought like, man, there's got to be a little bit more than no reason to jump or working as an engineer with a bunch of dudes with very crusty mustaches. If anybody's been to Michigan and worked at a car company, right? You get on that floor, what do you got? He's like, hello, this is Bhupendra. Hello, this is Duryodhan. Hello, this is Kunal. Hello. There's no wheeze in the juice. No wheeze in the juice. Anybody know what movie that's from? I'll send a free hat to the first person that tells me what movie that's from. No reason the Jahoos. Free, I'll send a free Bulls on Wall Street hat. Let me see if I got any laying around. Hold up. Oh boy. Look at these hats. Bam. These are nice, right? No reason the Jahoos. First person, Nick will send it to you. Damn, Patrick. Patrick, Eric, you got hats. All right. Send Nick your address. I'll get you guys the hats, all right? So I always knew I was capable of more. The market always fascinated me, though, And, man, I sucked at it so bad. I don't know. Have any of you guys tried, for those of you guys that have been trying trading, anybody just suck? Man, I sucked like bad. I sucked bad for a long time. And that was just the name of the game. I had no system. I had no methodology. Man, I got into trading. I was taking out some student loans, taking some money from my dad, telling him it was for books, all the little grifts you do when you try to get some money. Man, I couldn't get it going. And then I found my mentor, Paul. And Paul, who works for us now, he's the best in the business. He is a swing trader that holds stocks for multiple days. He teaches our students right now and took me from a part-time trader to a full-time trader. Man, I owe this man millions of dollars. I owe this man also the loss of my hair. I owe this man all sorts of stuff. But you know what? I was about 25 years old And I sat there and I saw Paul's blog. I said, man, this guy's an Indian. And you know how Indian people are. For any of the guys that are Indian, you know how it is. And an Indian person sees another Indian person do well, what do? Hey, buddy, help me out, man. You say, hey, man. I'm like, man, this guy's an Indian and he's got a blog? Like, Paul, help me out. And first of all, like, he's got like an American name, and you know his name is probably not Paul. Like Indian people, if his name's Paul, it's like probably like fucking 18 letters, right? So Paul's got a blog spot. It's called the Market Speculator blog spot. So I see Paul. I've been reading his blog. I was stalking him, like literally creepy stalking. I was like creepy stalking him for a while. Like I was like, I knew almost his whereabouts. But this is like 2005, 2006, like, you know, it's not like you could track people with the iPhones. Like, I'm like literally trying to track him. Like, oh my God, he just left the blog. He just left the blog. Oh my God, he just left the blog. He just sent out an email. I better get him. And so one day I was just like, hey, man. And hey, I'm Indian too. And he's like, so? Right? Indian people always do that, teacher. I'm like, hey, Paul, how you doing? He's like, hey, great. Thank you for reading my blog. And I'm like, hey, I'm Indian too. And he's like, okay. I was expecting him to like open me with open arms, right? Be like, hold me in your bosom. And I'm like, I'm Indian. And he's like, yeah, cool, I guess. And so I had bothered him. And I'm like, hey, man, you got to teach me. You got to teach me. Like, I'm going to be your best student. And he's like, yeah, man, pay me. So, you know, Paul became my teacher. And like, look, any good mentorship, it requires some of that, right? That give and take. And Paul took me under his wing. I ended up paying him a whole shitload of money. But he took me where I needed to go, from part-time to full-time. Man, he's disciplined, he's smart, and man, he runs a show at our company sometimes. Man, he does just a great job. So let's get into the actual work, all right? There's going to be two types of people that do this type of webinar, right? You got type one. If you're brand new to trading, you don't know anything about trading strategies, that's fantastic. If you're brand new, just let me know. Like, type it in. I'll have one of my guys send you a free little trading class, a little pointers on where to get started, and then a lot of what we're about to talk about will make sense. The type two is if you've traded stocks and you've just tried different strategies, but you just can't make it work. That's pretty much everybody I've ever met in trading, right? Like, you know, even if you're a type 1, you're a type 2. If you're type 2, you're type 1. Trading is tough. It is. And the reason is that trading requires you to do a handful of things. Number one, to learn trading doesn't have to be complicated, but it does have specific facets to it that you just can't come up on your own sometimes. So when you think about trading, like a trade, think about, any of you guys ever have like, this actually worked because, you know, anybody ever try to cook something, but you don't know how to do it? So you ever open like a cookbook? So when you open a cookbook, say you want to bake a cake, right? You want to bake a cake for your baby mama. You got a wonderful baby mama, you want to bake this cake. You never baked a cake in your life. You open up this cookbook, and you have like you open up the recipe, and it's very specific. All your ingredients are laid out, and then it comes into like a very specific sequence. But it is like to the T to the detail. It's like 3 pinches of this, 4 tablespoons of this, 2 tablespoons of butter, 450 degrees, do this, take it out of the oven, let it cool, so on and so forth. Put this much salt, this much sugar, so on, but it's very specific. And then what happens in your cookbook if like 2 ingredients are missing and then you did it all in the wrong order? All of a sudden your cake kind of tastes a little bit like meatloaf, don't it? Like it's just not there. That's where you have to go with trading. A trade setup has to have a very specific recipe, and everything has to go right. So you got to have a list of ingredients. These are the things I'm looking for in a trade, and then this is the sequence I need to see them. And if you can't see them, or they're just not there, then frankly, the trade can't be taken. And that's where most traders actually screw up. Trading is a complicated business. Think about when you think about trading. I mean, you're competing against the smartest, most crooked people in the history of the world, right? So you have to have some type of edge. You can have an edge in different ways, though. The people on Wall Street, they have an edge against you because of money. They got more money than you, and they got probably a little bit more education than you. But that doesn't really mean as much, as long as you have multiple edges over them. You can have an edge in strategy. You can have an edge in work ethic, preparation, discipline, mental psychology. There's so many ways to get an edge over an opponent that has more money and more power and better things than you. You have to outwork them. But you also have to have a strategical and tactical edge, which is the stuff that we're going to discuss today. How do you have an edge over, frankly, somebody that has more resources than you? Ain't that something? Always. So, type 2. If you guys are this, I got to give you a recipe today. I got to give you at least one. I got 18 patterns I trade. Today, I might at least get you one that's hot. Hopefully, I get you 2. But an edge, you can have an edge in risk management. You're right. You can have an edge in so many things. But you better have an edge, and you better be great at it. My edge always has been that I can bring the heat no matter what. Like, I'll work. It's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, man. I can bring it. Like, I can bring it with some passion. I can bring it with energy. And that cancels out a lot of my, frankly, like, other things that I'm lacking. You know? I can always bring that no matter what. You can see it right now, right? 8:30, I'm still bringing, I'll bring you the heat, man. An hour from now, I'm going to bring you the heat. So we are momentum traders. So let's talk about this. Why do we like to trade momentum? Number one, momentum stocks have the most explosive moves. They have the highest liquidity. You got day trading opportunities, but also swing trading opportunities. We need to be into the best momentum stocks. These are the ones that ignite strong trends. But they also give you opportunities for days, if not weeks. Guys, when a stock starts to trend, when it starts to break out, you will have an opportunity to trade it for weeks to potentially months. So, what do we do? So, I'm going to teach you about, number one, how to find the best. So, write this down. On earnings season starts January 15th. It always starts with Alcoa. Why? Alcoa is like, well, it's AA, right? So that's the first ticker that comes up. Alcoa starts up earnings season. So when you start earnings season, there are going to be stocks every single day that have earnings out. Earnings out. This is a huge thing. So you have stocks every single day that have earnings out. So then what goes down? Woo! Yay! What goes down? So what's going to happen is there's going to be stocks every single day that have news out. They literally have news out that you can analyze in a specific way that gets stocks going. So there's two different things that you can do, all right? There's two different things you can do. For those of you guys, who's a day trader? Give me an idea. Who's a day trader here and who's a swing trader? Who's a day trader and a swing trader? And by the way, guys, if you're going to be joining me in class, so we start our next class. I do 60-day class. If you're joining me in class, it starts in 2 weeks, and you need all these layouts and scans that I do, just put in your email address, or you can actually email me at Kunal@bullson.ws. Anybody that's like incoming in class next week, hit me up. I'll make sure to get you all these layouts and scans and stuff. But who here's a day trader versus swing trader? Ryan Potuk, what's up, baby? Pennsylvania, I'm in the house. Good. Harsh, what's up, baby? Cody, what's going on? Damien, Baham, my friend. Cool. So what do we need to see? So it's earnings season. All right. So every single morning, I want to run a scan for stocks that are moving up 3% or more. All right? Stocks that are moving up 3% or more. So I want to run this scan at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. How do you do this scan? I do two different aspects to run this scan. Number one, I use Trade Ideas, which is just basically it's a software that I use that will give me opportunities for these kind of day trades. So you guys can have the same scans as me if you want. But I use Trade Ideas. So Trade Ideas, like what it will do, it's a software, and you guys can all use it if you want. It's a software that's going to tell me in the morning, like what is popping. Hey, Kushbu, thank you. Yes. So I use Trade Ideas, and so every morning I'm going to see like this habit, like you start to see stocks that are moving X, Y, Z. So I'm going to go through anything that's moving up 3% or more. Those are stocks that I'm interested in that, frankly, I want to get a piece of. Does that make sense? Good. I use this because it's going to give me, I can tweak it to whatever I need, which is really, really important. All right? I can tweak to whatever I need. A free website that works really, really well that will give you, I would say like 80% of what you would get on a paid software is a company called Market Chameleon. And I'm going to post that link for you guys there so you can use that too. So you can see the gappers from that too. So you'll be able to see all this stuff. Now, I don't trade any of these like $2, $3 stocks, but I'm looking for like really a handful of patterns that I can encapsulate off of this. Does that make sense? Good. So what I'm looking for in the morning is strong pre-market volume. I want to have at least like 50,000 shares or more in volume. Ideally, the stock is going to be under 100 million in float, but anything under 250, I'm ready to go. Like anything under 250, I consider still has the possibility to be explosive. So let me quantify this a little bit. So what float means is the number of outstanding shares that can be traded in the open market in a particular company. So the float, the lower the float, it means that you have a limited amount of shares. So the lower the float, what happens? You have less amount of shares. So why is that important? Imagine this, like if we had, say everybody in the world wanted to buy Tesla, right? Everybody know Tesla. Say everybody in the world wanted to buy Tesla. So 7 billion people in the world. Say we all wanted to buy 100 shares of Tesla. Could we? At $400. Could we? Anybody? If everybody in the world wanted to buy Tesla at $400 and the price of Tesla was at $400, could we? No. The amount of shares that might be available at $400 could be like 10 shares. Then there might be some at $400.10. Then there might be some at $400.20. It's like an art auction, right? There might be some at $400.30, $41, $42, $402, so on and so forth. So you only have a limited amount of supply and a limited amount of shares that are actually can be bought. So the lower the float, the less shares are available. So what happens? Man, you may have, like, if the float's low enough, say you got a low float stock and it's $30. You may have like 30 shares available at $30, and the next shares may be available at $30.10. Then you have like 200 at $30.20, you have 300 at $30.30. So imagine like we all wanted to buy like thousands of shares. What happens? Stock starts to go nuts, right? Stock starts to go nuts. So low float, the float really matters because the limited amount of supply. So when you see a stock that does like, anybody remember like KRTX? KRTX is a stock we were trading, in November. This stock was at $17. It ran to $160 in a handful of days, 2 days. Why? Was it like really that special? No, there was nothing special necessarily about it. It had a piece of news and it was semi-okay, but the float on it was so low that a little bit of buying took this thing all the way up. So the float becomes very, very important when you look at these things. So I'm looking for lower floats. I'm looking to see if it's made a move in the past. I want to see high relative volume. I want to see a large range. And Sharif, you're right. That's why IPOs are the best traders. Then I want to see high liquidity and no nearby resistance for a long trade. So you can use trade ideas or you can use the market chameleon for either one of these. So the first pattern that we would trade off these type of things, well, let's talk about a little bit about opening range breakout. Guys, an opening range breakout's a fantastic trade. It's fantastic. It's great people, okay? It's a fantastic trade, okay? I right now talked to five-star generals about the opening range breakdown, and it's a fantastic trade. They're great. They're fantastic. I love their tushies. They're fantastic. So, I'm sorry. I gotta help him, man. I had to throw one in. So, opening range breakout or breakdown. All right, you can do them both ways. An opening range breakout or breakdown is a highly effective day trading technique that gets you into strong momentum stocks early in the move. Yeah, guys, I'm getting a lot of messages right now about when our next class starts. It starts in 2 weeks. So if anybody's coming into our next class, feel free to, you can email me, and I'll just put you on the list. You know, it's a regular class. It's just a series of webinars and stuff. Email me, I'll put you in the next class. So opening range breakout or breakdown is a highly effective day trading setup that gets you into strong stocks early in the move. J-Lo, what's up, baby? So what we're looking for is a stock that gaps down or up at the open. All right? So, don't worry about this line. So what we're looking for is a handful of things. I want to see a stock that pops up at the open. So we're looking for a gap up of minimum 3% or more. All right? So I want a gap up of 3% or more. So see how this stock's at $4? You run to $7. The opening range breakout requires 3 sideways candles. I use a 5-minute chart. On 5-minute chart. All right? If you guys are not familiar with day trading or day trading candles and stuff like that, let me know. I'll send you some beginner stuff. You can email me or, my guy, one of my guys will post like a free class or a Bulls kit or something for you guys. But you can hit me up. So I want 3 sideways candles on a 5-minute chart. All right? So you get gap up of 3% or more. I want 3 sideways candles on a 5-minute chart. Then you're going to buy the break of the range with stop below nearest support. So why is this important? So first of all, for those of you guys that are not familiar with what we do, these are the indicators that I want on your intraday chart. So for those of you guys that are not familiar with what you do, first of all, you can just use you can just use this layout. But the indicators that we use on an intraday chart, and you can use your broker charting if you want. I find TC2000 to be the easiest one to use, but you can use this layout. I need a 9 EMA, a 20 EMA, and a VWAP, all right? These are the handful of things that I need to see on a particular intraday chart. So I want to see gap up of 3% or more, and then minimum 3 sideways candles. So you got 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candles sideways, and then your stop goes below the bottom of the range. So you're going to buy as you break the top of the range. So you're going to buy basically like say 720. Your stop is going to go below. And now you're into the shred. Now if you notice on this thing, see this purple line here? The float on this is only 27 million shares. So if you got 13 million shares in volume and you've got 27 million shares in float, what happens? You can get a stock that starts to go nuts. When you have a ratio of volume to float, and that volume starts to creep up to match that float, oh boy, you can get stocks that go parabolic. You can get them to go bonanzas. Float becomes very, very important. So I want you to go gap up 3% or more. 3 sideways candles. Boom, boom, boom. You buy in the break of the range, stop goes under. So where do you start to sell this thing? That's always the question. Where do you sell? Anybody got any ideas? Guys, what are some ideas? Like, okay, so I'm in this thing. You don't know if this thing's going to explode to the moon or die, right? Sometimes they die. Half the time they die. So what do? So let's go opening range breakout. But like, where do you sell? Ain't that the question? Where do you sell? Look, if I'm risking like 20, 30 cents on this thing, which is about the risk on this, if I start getting 3 to 1, 4 to 1 reward to risk, meaning if I risk 30 cents, I got $1 out of it, I would look to sell some. Why? Because I can sell off, say, a partial amount of shares, half my shares, and now it's a free trade. What I mean by free trade is I'll put a stop loss at my buy price. A stop loss is an automated order that allows me to get out if it goes below that order. So what I'll do is I'll sell half, then I'll put a stop loss, an automated order at the price I bought. So it becomes a free trade. So now my trade is on the casino. It could go up to 10, it could go up to 15, 20, right? But my risk is limited because if it goes below where I bought it, I'm out, right? The computer will sell me out. I do this on all my trades. If I get a profit even a little bit, I sell half. Then I put a stop in my buy price. I make it a free trade. Most of my money is made on those casino trades. Most of my money is made on those casino trades because now I've got a free trade. You know what happens mentally when you have a free trade? Man, we're Americans. We're cheap, man. All America, we act like Indians. We all act like Indians. See, when you got a free trade, what do? You rest a little bit easier. You feel a little bit more free. You're a little bit less stress. You can actually let a stock develop into what it's going to do. How many times have you guys been into like a stock and then you sold it early and it turned out to be a monster winner? And you're like looking like, fuck, I was just in that thing. Happened on my whole life, right? You look at it, you're like, fuck, I was just in there. Like, how did I miss that? So, and this is like a blue collar kind of Michigan thing. You know, if I take even a little bit of money to pay, and you know, when I was a new trader, it was like a couple $100. Man, if I paid myself a couple $100, guys, man, I would be like so free. I was able to let the stock develop. I was able to let the stock do what it needed to do because I took that little bit of profit, right? And now I could breathe easier. And guess what? I'm just a better human being once I take a little profit. Now it's like, man, that stock can do whatever. My mom can say this. My girlfriend can say this. My coworkers can say this. You can't fade me, right? I got half of my stock riding, but it's a free trade. You can't fade me. Say whatever you want, right? You can't fade you. But you know what happens when you don't take any of that profit and you're like holding it and watching it? You're like this. Come on. Where's it going to go? Where's it going to go? And you're not that lax. You're not that lax. And so buy, set your stop, let it rock. But then when you get a little bit of gain, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, if you get any big spikes, sell some off. And then what I usually like to do is I trail them up those 9 EMA. So always put a 9 EMA on your 5-minute chart. Man, you're good to go. All right? Check this out. So you got this stock, gaps up here. So you go from 47 to 48. You got a nice spike to 48.50. Now you got, boom, 1 candle, 2 candles, 3 candles. You see you got your VWAP, you got your 9 EMA, you got curls for the girls all up in the piece on these things. It's nice, ain't it? Check this out. So you pop up, you go sideways. Woo! That's nice. So you buy in the range breaks, all right? So you can buy as the range breaks, put your stop under the bottom of the range. Now you guys are ready to go. So you buy, set your stop at the bottom of the range. So guys, guess on this one. You're going to risk like 25 cents. You're going to risk like 25 cents. That's not so bad, is it? $50 stock, you risk 25 cents. No, that's where you want to be. How can I put myself in positions where I risk something very small to get a bigger shred? It's not necessarily like I got a 30% gain, 50% gain, 100% gain. That's all fool's gold. That's all marketing. These are all people that are bullshit, right? You have to trade just regular stock. How if I risk $1 to make, say I risk 10% to make 30%, or I risk 1% to make 3%, is there more money in one than the other? Think about this. This is how the small cap people get you. If I risk 10% to make 30%, what's my reward to risk? And if I risk 1% to make 3%, what's my reward to risk? It's the same shit, just different story, right? When you trade those pennies, your risk is higher because you have to keep a looser stop loss. So the money always ends up the same. What you have to think about is range. Range means like, okay, so I've got a 25-cent risk on this name, all right? I've got a 25-cent risk on this name. Say you got a small account and you can only buy 200 shares of this, right? That's going to cost you $9,000. Well, if it rips 3 points, yeah, 200 shares, you have a potential $600 gain for risking what? $50. Now, I'm not saying you would sell it all the way at the top or anything like that, right? But I'm just talking about numbers. You'd risk $50 to potentially make $600. So it's no different than trading some small cap. When you're a new trader, your account's small, what they do is they prey on you. They prey on you to trade these OTCs, these small caps, these low flow pump and dumps, and try thinking that you're going to turn your $2,000 to $1 million. It don't really matter. I'd rather you trade 100 shares of a regular stock that can move $3 or $4 back and forth, because you know what? If it can move $3 or $4, how much money is that? It's a couple $100, right? That's not bad. Guess what? If you did that every single day. Trading is a long game. If you want to make this a career, then it's a career, isn't it? So if you can trade 100 shares and the stock's going to move around $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, and you're taking a chunk of that, and you do that every single day for a month, how much is your account bigger? It's a lot bigger by the end of the month. Yeah, it may not be that sexy at the end of one day, but at the end of the month it is. And if you do that again, month 2, in month 3, and the thing is, you're never going to blow up your account if you trade normal stuff and you use risk management. You're not going to blow up your account. You know when you blow up your account? When you trade penny stocks. When you trade $2 stocks, $1 stocks, $3 stocks. Those people, they prey on you. Now, guess what? There is a time and place to trade them. If you've got elite skills, you've got reflexes, then you can trade $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 stocks. They're going to move fast. But like if you got elite skills, you can capture them and you can do it with low risk. But when you're new, you just don't got those kind of reflexes. You don't got that kind of muscle memory yet. So it just ends up being a money loser. The reason that the failure rate for traders is so high in the 90s is because most traders, they start out with smaller amounts of capital and they gravitate towards penny stocks, which are just all hit or miss. It's just a gamble. But if those people gravitated towards a proper system with just normal stocks that can move a lot, then the failure rate would be a lot less, because guess what? These are like regular companies, like they're not going anywhere. So it becomes very, very important. Now, the ORB pattern can go both ways. And yeah, man, I'll trade a small cap too. But you know, Patrick, they're a little bit harder to trade. It takes more skill. It takes more practice. It takes more dedication. That's always the case. So 3% or more. This stock gaps down $10, right? So you got 3% or more gap down. What do you got? 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle, 4 candle. When it breaks a range, you get a short, set your stop. So where are you going to short this thing, guys? You probably short this thing by 114. You set your stop at 115. You're going to risk $1. Now you let it roll. It doesn't matter if you got a small account, big account. If you can short 50 shares, 100 shares, and this thing gets down to one. Say you only get a small account. So I would normally trade like 500 to 1,000 shares of this. Say you got a small account, you can only do 50 shares. If it shreds, gets down to about 102, so 115 to 102, how much money can you make even with 50 shares? You have just a pretty good day. You wouldn't be upset about it, would you? You make hundreds of dollars. You wouldn't be upset about it. So you don't got to worry about the price of the stock. You got to worry about the range. Does it make sense? Comprendes? Good. Gap down. So you got 3% or more gap down right here, right? This stock had bad earnings. It shows up in the gapper list. You can use Market Chameleon or Trade Ideas. You can use Market Chameleon or Trade Ideas. I use the Trade Ideas gap scanner. It's awesome. But you can use Market Chameleon too. You can use either one of those. So you show up in the gap every single day. Good, good, good. Show up on the gap every single day. So you gap down. 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candle. So what do you got here? 54. Man, I short about 1,200 shares of this thing right at 54. Before you know it, boom. In minutes, it's at 52. Before you know it, it's at 50. So it's just open week, minimum 3 candles sideways, shred. Now, if the range doesn't show, then it's a no-go. If the range don't show, it's a no-go. Comprendes? Good, good, good. So software first of all, let's talk about this. What does it take? So that's my favorite trading pattern. All right, you guys can all do this one. Let's talk about this. What is it going to take for 2020 to be your best year? What do you need to do? So there's no time to waste. First of all, there's no time to waste. Let me tell you how life goes. No matter what you do in life, there's always, man, my work is busy, my kids are bothering me, my dad is sick, my uncle is sick, my boss is hassling me. There has never been a time where, guess what? There's never been a time where you will not be busy. Life never slows down. I used to do this all the time with my son. My mom would be like, oh my gosh, like you've been working so hard. When are you going to get yourself a girlfriend? When are you going to do this? When you have some kids? And I'd be like, when things slow down. And you know what happens? The more money you have, the more success you have. It doesn't really matter. Things don't necessarily slow down. Like your work may slow down because you hit some of your goals. Well, you're always going to have parents that need something, siblings that bother you, neighbors that hassle you, a boss that does this. Like, the world doesn't just stop at some point and just give you free time. There is never a time where things slow down, where you can take on a challenging project and it's better than another. The time to do anything when you have something great is to just do it now. Even if you can't do it all the way, you just do it now. You get started. Because if you don't, then the world passes you by. The year passes you by. I have this all the time. I get students and they're like, man, I wish I had taken your class 3 years ago. And I'm like, I talked to you 3 years ago. And you said like you were really busy, like your kid was teething, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, so what happened? He's like, well, I ended up having another kid and he was teething. All right? Like, and I was talking to him, so he's like a good student of mine, Dave, and we were laughing about it. He's like, I just said, wish I'd taken your class or like talked to you 3 years ago when we were talking. And I'm like, yeah, man, you told me your kids were teething, which it looked like the stupidest thing in the world, right? But like, you know, we were laughing about it because he's like, you know, I was hoping for my work to slow down and my kids to get a little bit older. And I just want my work to slow down. My kids to get a little bit older and, you know, and a little bit less stress around the house. And I'm like, did that ever happen? He's like, no, my kids got older and they just like, you know, instead of shitting their pants all the time, they just started terrorizing the house and, you know, breaking everything. Right? They never, these days, your kids aren't leaving till they're 30 years old probably, right? These millennials are fucked. So they're never leaving. So there is no time to attack 2020 than just now. Let 2020 be your best year. So how can you make it the best year? How can you make it the best year of your damn life? Well, number one, in terms of trading, I don't know like about all this other stuff. My skills are in trading. I'm not a guru or in anything, but this is my expertise, right? This is where I spent my life learning, okay? So number one, figure out your goals. Where you're trying to go. That's easy enough. In terms of trading. Am I going to be a day trader, swing trader, investor, whatever, right? Okay, so now you got an end point, okay? So now I got an end point. What do I do next? I got an end point. What do I do next? And by the way, if any of you guys want to pop into my next class in 2 weeks, you email me. Man, I'll put you in there, and I'll just have somebody call you. Don't worry, it's not like anything salesy or anything like that. He's just going to ask you for, you know, what day you want to start or some shit and figure out your goals. So figure out your goals. Where do you want to talk? Day trading, swing trading is my specialty, all right? Okay, so now you learn a methodology. How do I learn an exact system of what to do? So I want to learn a methodology. How do I actually get this down, right? So a trading methodology encompasses a handful of things. Number one, so when you think of trading methodology, this is how you want to look at it. Trade. When you build a trade, you're a lawyer. You're a lawyer and you're building a case. Okay, so what I mean by that is like, say you're a prosecutor, right? And you want to put somebody in jail. You have to build a case and prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this person is guilty. So a trade is the same way. You need pieces of evidence to line up in your favor of why you should take the trade beyond a reasonable doubt to actually take the trade. So you're looking for price patterns and setups. So there's a handful of things that we look for, a specific recipe for each trade. So I always look at what? Number one, price pattern. 2, trends. 3, volume. 4, moving averages. 5, stochastics. 6, is the juice worth the squeeze? Okay, so I have a price pattern. I learn a methodology. So each one of my patterns has these components to it, that recipe. So for 2020, you got to figure out your goals, learn a methodology, and then, dude, how do you become an expert at something? How do you become an expert? How to build competence, expertise. The way to build competence and expertise is through repetitions of a correct methodology. What I mean by that is that so many of us, and this is like a way of the times, we flirt from class to class, guru to guru, diet to diet, blog to blog. Everything flips all the time. Everything is about the new hot thing. And so we never get anywhere. In trading, to build competence, you have to try a methodology that works, and you have to do it over and over and over until it becomes second nature. So, for example, my students in class, You come into class and you're learning class. I teach a 60-day boot camp. 60 days. 4 days a week for 60 days. So in my class, that 4 days a week, 60 days, you're getting the knowledge, all right? Then after that, like I put my students on simulators, right? So now you have to practice that knowledge. So you're building up your competence. But if you just try it for like 2 weeks and then you like just move on to some other stuff because you think there's something better out there, you never get good. You never get good. You need the repetitions. To become a master at something, you do the same kick 10,000 times, right? It's right. What did Bruce Lee say? I'm not worried about the guy that has 10,000 different kicks. I'm worried about the guy that does one kick 10,000 times. So how you build that repetition and that competence, that expertise, is by following a program, but you just add it every single day. So like in my program, it's all encompassing. I teach in the morning, I trade in front of my students live at night, and then we do class at night. And so we're just building on the expertise, we're building on the competence. So you got to build on this. Then it becomes repetitions. You need thousands of reps the same way. So we have our students journal. We use TraderView or Excel sheets. And we journal everything. I read my students' trades. So we go through and we build those repetitions, and I'm guiding you and saying, okay, this is right, this is wrong. But you're going to do it over and over and over. Man, you don't give up. Man, you do it over and over. So once you got it, now it's about making adjustments. So you've got the repetitions, you got it down, you've got the methodology. Now you start making adjustments based on your work, your personality, and your style. And it becomes your own. This makes it becomes your own. When you start to make the adjustments because you've done the repetition so many times, it becomes your own. You own it. This all of a sudden becomes your style, your thing. And now, as you keep doing it, you own it. All right? This becomes huge. So a handful of other things. So number one, you need to always journal everything. Journal every single thing. Guys, you gotta journal. Man, you gotta journal everything. So like my students, like the ones that I work with, I got all these guys, they're all like all my students, right? I have data of every single thing. I get data of every single thing that they do. So like I can see like, okay, this guy made this much money, this much money, this much money in the last 90 days. $66,000 last 90 days. But I can see every single trade. So I can see the last 60 days, this is what happened. I can see the last 30 days what happened. I can see the win days versus lose days. If you do not have this kind of data, what do you have? You got nothing, right? You got nothing. I need to see the stats. So we keep data of everything. This is how you get better. All my students keep this data. They send it to me. I grade them. If you don't want me to grade them, we have one of the other students, right? One of the other students look at them. We boot everybody out. Boot buddies. What do you notice about this guy? He made all his money, but what do you notice about this guy? Win percentage stunk. Still made money. Win percentage stunk. Still made money. Because if your gains are bigger than your losses because you're doing proper risk management, I hate to tell you, you don't have to win every trade. You can win on less than half your trades. In this style of momentum trading, and you're going to be able to get this thing going. What are some other things you need? Charting software. I sent you some links for TC2000. TC2000 is like this beautiful kind of colors, and you see all this stuff that I'm doing. This is TC2000. All my students have access to all my scans. They have all my layouts. I'll set all this stuff up for you, so it's not a huge deal. Then you're going to need a brokerage platform. There's Speed Trader, Trade Zero. There's all these free ones. The free ones are amazing. You got Ameritrade, E-Trade, Interactive Brokers. There's so many free ones out there. You guys are good to go. man, that's like really, that's where you can really have some fun, right? Why 95% of traders blow up? So first of all, you have no system. Most traders blow up because they got no system, no mentor, nobody to kick them in the ass. I have no problem, and by the way, I'm not for everybody. You guys can see I'm hype right now. It's 9 o'clock, I'm going to be hype. I got class after this. I'm going to be hype till I go. So I'm not for everybody, but most people, they blow up because they got no system, they got no mentor. The second part is why people blow up is you got to have a thick skin. You need somebody to get in your ass, and that sounds really dirty, by the way. You need somebody to get in your ass, and you got to let them burrow in there. Man, I'm up on my student shit like all day, all night. Man, the guys in Europe, man, I'll be fucking texting them at 2 a.m. Like, what'd you do with this? What'd you do with that? Right? You got to have a system, but then you got to have the accountability of somebody following up and saying, yo, fuck off. Or not fuck off, right? That's a big part of what we do. You can't treat trading like a hobby. They don't have a written business plan. Let me ask you this. Would you go into a bank and try to open a restaurant and ask for $1 million without a business plan? What are you going to happen when you go to a bank? They're going to ask you questions. You know, a business plan, what are they going to do? Out the door. They're probably going to kick you out the door anyways because they're fucking banks, but they're going to kick you out the door if you don't have a business plan. So why would trading be any different? You are the CEO of your small business. You are the CEO of your small business. You're trying to take it into a bigger business, aren't you? So you got to have a business plan. One of the things I work on with all my students is how do we develop business plans? They don't got mentorship from proven traders. The one thing about my class, I got 1,000 guys that have taken my class over the years, and I have unlimited access to my class. So like my guys will take class over and over. They can retake it as many times as they want. The mentorship from people like Patrick and Eric and stuff, they may not be gurus yet, but they have experience, right? They got experience to do what they need to do, which is the do-do. So if you don't got that kind of heat, then you're not going to be able to get where you need to go. So you have to have a few different things. Number one is you got to have that system. But number two, you got to be able to handle aggressive coaching. Aggressive coaching means you got somebody that's willing to get up in your ass. That sounds so dirty, right, when I keep saying that? But you got somebody that's going to really get in your face and tell you what you need to do, and then can you do it? Coaching is a give and take. It's not just like, hey, I buy a class and then I expect to be good at something. It's, hey, I get a class and I get a real coach and he's up on me and there's a give and take about that. So our boot camp is designed to be a solution for retail traders to combat all this stuff, all right? You can talk to any one of my students. So if anybody ever wants to talk to one of my students, you can go ahead, hit me up, email me. I'll point your way to hundreds of them or even more. We'll get that thing going because the one thing you will say is you ain't going to ever find anybody. They may say, nobody's ever going to say anything bad about my work ethic or the way I treat people. We go and we do what we got to do. So you hit me up if you got anything out there. Guys, this is the best profession out there. But just like any profession, whether you're a doctor, lawyer, accountant, janitor, teacher, there's a process to it. This is a job. You wouldn't go and you wouldn't expect to do brain surgery without some type of education, without some type of mentorship. Think about like how much work people go through before they become doctors and they actually get paid. It's not just like spending the money in school. Imagine how much work do they go through before they actually get paid. It's years of study, years of sweat, years of tears. And even then, they're probably not going to be that good. I'm going to prescribe you all sorts of bullshit, right? But you got to go through so much stuff to get where you need to go. Trading is no different. Now, what we got to do is take all those years of knowledge and compress it. How do we compress in a shorter period of time? There's no such thing as like, hey, I can learn this in like 3 days, 4 days, right? There's nothing like that. But how do we take something that's multiple years and just compress it in the shortest period of time as we can? That requires a full-blown immersive system. That's why I'm always in front of my guys. We have class in the morning. I train in front of my guys at night. We do class at night. Everything is recorded, archived. You have lifetime access to it, but it's 24/7. We give you a foundation and tools to get those things going. And that's what's going to get your learning curve going. So if any of you guys, if any of you guys want to chat about any of this stuff, put in your phone number. Put in your phone number if you need me to give you a buzz, or you can just email me and I'll get that thing going. Guys, 28 live classes in my boot camp. Every class is recorded for playback and archived. We do Q&A, questions, weekly quizzes, homework, live trading. This is a full-blown university-style system. And what I mean by that, guys, is we do classes at night. But you got quizzes, you've got homework, you've got everything going. This is not like some DVD. You can't learn trading from DVDs, can you? You can't do that. You're not going to be able to. You need real education, a real teacher. So we do an immersive system, okay? So quizzes, homework, and then the best thing is I trade live in front of my students every day. So the one thing is like, look, you're going to take classes, but how do you marry book knowledge to real-time knowledge? How do you marry book knowledge to real-time knowledge? So like most people, they're going to do classes, so on and so forth. So what? But like, how do you marry that? So when you read a book or you look at a slide, it's in static. It's in static. It's not actually moving around. People will cherry pick, and I do it too. People will cherry pick the slides. You're only going to see the best stuff. So how do you go from that to marrying and being able to see them live? You got to have somebody that's actually going to trade in front of you live on screen share, right? Look, people typing out messages in Discord is bullshit because that doesn't actually mean anything. Like, do you actually got your charts up? Do you actually talk somebody through what you got to do, right? That's the huge part of trading where you got to go in. So I trade live in front of my guys every single day till I'm done trading. We do trade recaps 3 times a week. So I dissect every single trade I take. So, we have a Discord group. I'm trading in front of my guys literally all day. So what we'll do is, like, I'm telling them. So, like, today, my first trade of the day, 932, I shorted TVIX, right? So then I'm covering some, and I'm showing them exactly, like, what I do all day. So I'm trading live in front of my students, and I put on a webinar link every single morning so you can actually see me trade. So that's how you're going to marry the static from books into real life knowledge. You're going to watch somebody trade. You can ask questions during the trading day. That's where the connections happen, where all of a sudden the synapses in your brain start to really, really fire. And then, of course, like as we're going through class, we'll put you guys on trading simulators. I use TC2000 as my trading software for charting and stuff. All of my students get the first month for $5, and I have everything built into it. It's all good to go. So we got trading simulators, and then, of course, I work with all my students one-on-one. You get access to a private student community where we work together. And, of course, I got a 200-page course book and, all that kind of fun stuff that happens. Guys, it's the first 9. We have a handful of, spots left in this next boot camp. What we're doing with our boot camp is turning it into small group sessions where everybody can participate, where people can talk to each other and get on get on video, ask questions, and work with each other. So what we're doing with this bootcamp is slightly changing it to make it more interactive, and it's going to be an awesome one. We start in 2 weeks. If you guys want to chat with me, guys, that's my phone number over there. Nobody ever messages me anyways, but that's my personal cell, 517-974-1480. And if you want to talk to like my head sales guy, his name is Omar. You got his number over there. And of course, if you just want to put in your phone number, I'll have somebody give you a call. So what do you get with all this? Guys, I got a boot camp, everything is recorded, archived. So if you've got jobs, how many of you guys got jobs? Yeah, a lot of you guys got jobs, right? How many of you guys are jobs? So we don't just teach day trading in our classes. Half our class is day trading, half of our class is swing trading. Paul, my mentor, does the swing trading stuff. Swing trading is trading on a bigger picture where you're holding stocks for, say, 5 to 10 days, maybe even longer. Day trading is where you're doing more stuff like I am, where you're sashaying around like a Turkish gypsy all day. We teach both. I think it's important for you to know both. There are going to be certain markets where swing trades work, and there's going to be certain markets where day trading works. But our back-end system is just frankly amazing. Everything that you have is right at your fingertips, like no joke. So my guys have access to all this stuff forever. So you can go in and watch my past boot camps. You can go in and so all the quizzes, registration links, like everything is all in there. I do market recaps where I'm going through everything. So you have access to all of this stuff. And then you can even go through our old classes. So each boot camp is, I would say like maybe 25 classes, you're good to go. Yes, sir. It's pretty cool, right? All right, rock and roll. Good. So guys, put in your phone number or just message me if you got, I think Nick might have some page or something where you can let me know if you're coming into our next classes. I'd love to see you guys as always. And I got everything in these things. Let's open this thing up to some Q&A. We'll get this party going. And guys, if you want to just like reach out to me, my Twitter is Kunal00. My Instagram is Kunal00. And of course, you guys got my email, phone number too. And dude, I reach out to me. I got my cell right here. I love to talk to people. If you want to talk about your goals, I can get you there. If you think 2020 is your year, I can get you there. If you think like, man, I'm tired of just sitting around waiting and trying this trading thing and like it's not going anywhere, I can get you there because I have a systematic way of coaching people, but frankly, I just like doing it. Feel free to email me out anything you need, but let's open this thing up to some questions. Class dates. Nick, when does class start?
21st.
Class starts January 21st. Bill, what's going on? Hey, so I do also in-person stuff where you can stay at my house. I don't do anything where you stay at a hotel and shit like that. You gotta stay at my house, Bill. But I got students over here all the time. Bill, the link that Nick put in your phone number. I'll set up a call with you. And yeah, like you're more than welcome. If you want to learn like in person, I'll set something up. Eric, I'll send you the hat. Good. Yes, we do swing trading. We have a couple options class in everything we do. Mr. Furlano, what's going on, man? It's good to see you, brother. Good. Man, I got a couple people asking, like, when does class start? Class starts in a couple weeks. Guys, it's 60 days. It's no joke. 4 days a week. I start class at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll go for about an hour and a half. You'll have access to our chat room. I trade in front of my guys every single day, man. you'll see me shred. Like literally, like I'm out there shredding. Like I'm trading in front of my students live on screen share every single day. And man, I'm pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not like the best trader in the history of the world or anything, but I'm good. I trade breakouts, I trade pullbacks, I do swings, and I do day trades. And frankly, you know, I teach both because I think it's important. Good. Anybody else got any questions? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Guys, we got a handful of spots. We're doing smaller group classes from boot camps from now on because, frankly, I want things to be more interactive. So we'll keep a handful of people in them. And guys, just know, put in your name, your number. We'll figure out. I'll give you a call. We'll figure out your goals, where you're trying to go. You know, there's no, sales tactic on this one or anything like that. It's just a matter of, us getting on the phone and figuring out your goals. You know it, buddy. And guys, that's my sale, so don't abuse it. I got you, TZN. That's my sale. That's my college number, baby. Good. Speak now or forever hold your peace. I hope it's not TZN. Shit. Hey, Peter, no, it's all good. We have, we do them every few months. Frankly, each one takes a lot, so. Hey, Matt, Matt's question is, do you add to winners? Yeah, man, I add to winners. It's all, we do that also. Good. Yeah, man, all day does get all the chicks, man. He's a cool ass dude. Always has been. Rock and roll. Yeah, DGI, we go through some of that too. Hey, Iqbal, I'll have one of my guys give you a call. I think Nick has got like a little weird email thing. Iqbal, just send me an email. I'll give you a call tomorrow. I'll give you a buzz tomorrow. We'll chat about it. Cool. Anybody else got any questions? Anybody got any concerns? Holla dollar. Guys, I encourage you to reach out to me, to email me. Man, there is no time better than right now to get started and trade. Right now is the best time in the history of the world to learn something new. You have everything at your fingertips, from technology to the science to having capital. Everything you need is like right now is good to go. Guys, I appreciate it. God bless you. I am on WhatsApp. I think I'm just Kunal Desai. All right, rock and roll, man. I love you guys. God bless. God bless America. Let's go do what we do. For those of you guys that are in my chat room, man, we'll be out shredding tomorrow. The last few days has been fantastic. We're going to make some money tomorrow. Be there. Be square. You know how it goes. Peace in the Middle East.